Hey y'all, happy Thursday. All right, so technically it is officially holiday season, so everybody should be all happy and joyful and blissful. But some of us have stressful jobs or stressful personal lives that we can't avoid. So today's health coach PSA is just going to be about how to handle stress that you can't avoid because I think a lot of times people just feel like that stress from work is just something that they just have to deal with, or stress at home is just stuff that they have to deal with. It's like, oh, my mom is difficult. She's getting older. It's just something that I just have to handle. It's just something that I have to do. And I'm just going to continue to eat whatever I want to, or I'm going to allow these situations to keep me unmotivated so I can't exercise, or I'm just going to keep going through the motions because I don't see a way out. So, this was something that I was talking to a client about because we were able to reduce her stress and get her to not only reduce her stress at work, although her job didn't change, but her perception changed, as well as change the stress, her reactions to the stress in her personal life as well. Because sometimes her and her spouse, their interactions would become stressful because of the demands that they would be expecting from each other. And so I am pretty sure this is something that a lot of people deal with. So, how do you deal with stress that you can't really avoid? Well, there's a couple things you can do. First, you can try to minimize stress from everywhere else in your life, because if there's something you can't avoid, you can minimize the effects of that stress by controlling the other factors in your life. So, say if you have an unhealthy diet, and you know if you're not eating good or not, because you probably just tell yourself like, oh, I keep eating BS, I just keep eating crap, but I don't feel like eating anything else. So a lot of people don't understand this, but all of the high fat, high processed, sugary foods, they can disrupt your mood and they can contribute to the stress, and so they can make your stress a lot worse than what it seems. And the same thing goes for exercise. A lot of people is like, I already have stress in my life, I ain't got time to put more stress in my life with exercise. But honestly, exercise is the good stress or eustress, and it kind of helps you avoid de-stress or getting in or being distressed, simply because it raises your tolerance level and then it helps you exert that energy. Because I don't know if you know, but like when you're getting stressed, you have that like you have like that pressure or that energy built up inside. And so um, I know when I was teaching fitness classes, that was something that a lot of the employees liked, especially like kickboxing and stuff, because they could let out their stresses in the exercises, in the punching bags, in the equipment. So it helped alleviate their stress. And if you couple that with your eating habits, then you will probably feel like you can handle your stress at work or at home a little bit better. So it alleviates that stress. And another way to manage stress is to just change your perception about it. So if you know that you have, so I'll give myself an example because um, when I was managing the fitness facility, I was managing 3 fitness facilities. And so we had gotten a new building manager at one of the locations, and he didn't really understand why I was doing the things that I was doing. And so I would ask him for requests each month to change a coat, and he didn't really understand why. And so he would always delay, or he would always be difficult. And it used to always stress me out because I would do everything I could. Like I even gave him the list of the expected codes that I wanted it changed to. for like 5-6 months in advance. And so he would not reply to that email, but he would, coming up the month, then he'd be like, oh, okay, I'll change it. But then he would change it last minute. And so it would just always be so difficult. And so it just got to the point to where I just started expecting him to not do his job. I was just expecting him to come. And so if you just know, like, okay, so this is just how they are. They're difficult, they're ignorant. Like, you can't change ignorance. You can't change ignorance. You can't force people to be smarter. You can't force people to step up in their behavior, no matter how hard you try. But you can change your reaction to them. So I just stopped reacting. And what I would do is, if somebody would complain, I would just CC them. See, this is petty, Amber, I know, but you're not going to blame me for your mess ups, because ultimately it was his building. And so he was making his facility look bad. So whenever anything would go wrong, a client would complain, I would just CC him and let that person know that it was his fault. And so once he started realizing that, he was starting to get the flack for the things, he would start to fix his stuff. Now, I'm not saying be petty and to go back and forth on stuff, but maybe it will help to change your perspective about the situation, and to understand that you can't force people to change, but you can change how you react to them. And so working on those things can really alleviate your stress, and even just taking time to visualize a happy spot or a happy space, so that whenever you're in that stressful environment, you can just stop, take a break, close your eyes, focus on that happy space, or focus on your true purpose. Is like, I'm not here for these tired, raggedy coworkers. I'm here to help, serve, and do my job. Now, if you had a job that you don't even like to do, but you're just there for the money, it may be time to find another job. And you probably are stressed there until that comes when you're spiritual, the stress and the discomfort is there because you're not supposed to be there. Now, I'm not telling everybody to leave their jobs, because I know it's hard to find jobs out here, but you do have to recognize your limits and recognize who is supplying your abundance, or your job, or your income, because your income doesn't come from your job. Technically, it comes from your job, but your creator supplied that job to you. And so you have to recognize that who is your ultimate supplier, and that if you are not happy, if you cannot find a way out from that place, then you need to ask your creator, what should you do? And this is something that I do all the time. I ask for signs, I ask for guidance, I ask for questions, I ask for help. And sure enough, it comes to me. Either it comes through suggestions through people, divine downloads, but your inspiration, your motivation is going to come. Doors will open, breakthroughs will open, but you have to ask. Ask not, you receive not. Okay? So, that's all I have for today. If you have any tips that you want to share that has helped you learn to manage your stress that you can't avoid, be sure to share them in the comments, because I would love to hear them. And so I hope this helps. Happy Thursday.